Recently, along with a bunch of other features, TDS added 6 brand new skins, with 3 of them being new content creator skins, 1 limited edition plushie skin, and 2 other really good skins. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing every single level of every single skin, and then give my personal ranking of how good they are. So, hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get started. Starting off, we have the 5 Wolves Ranger, which is of course based on the YouTuber 5 Wolves. It has a black outfit with a yellow 5 on its hat. It also has a yellow and gray gun. At level 1, it gets a pair of black gloves. At level 2, it gets a yellow lens over its eye, and a 5 on its chest. At level 3, it gets a yellow trinket on its shoulder, and at max level, it now has a hood over its head, a lot more yellow across its body, and a much cooler looking gun. I think this is a pretty clean skin, not really having any bad features, and having a nice color palette. I just unfortunately think it's a little bit boring at max level, with its design kind of just looking like a yellow version of the default Ranger. Still, not bad, so 7 out of 10. Next up, we have the Dank Accelerator, which is based on the channel Dank's Platter. At level 0, it has blonde hair, Valkyrie wings on its head, a blue shirt, and some very buff arms. At level 1, it gets a pair of sunglasses. At level 2, it gets a cute little smiley face on its shirt. At level 3, it gets some black armor on its chest, and a hoodie that now has sleeves covering its arms. At level 4, it gets like a little hexagon shape on its back. I don't really know what it is. And at max level, it now has a pinkish purple hoodie, and 2 white horns coming out of its head. It also now shoots out purple lasers instead of blue. I'm kind of mixed about how I feel on the skin. I think the earlier levels aren't that great, with it mainly just being kind of silly, but at max level, I actually think it looks really cool. The color of its hoodie is really nice, and I think the horns are a nice detail. Also, picking the spinning animation was a really good choice, but since I don't really like the earlier levels, I'm also going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Next up, we have the CrazyRex Engineer, which is based on the CrazyRex YouTube channel. At level 0, it has a white shirt and a black and white bucket on its head. At level 1, it gets a pair of black gloves. At level 3, it gets some white rings across his eyes. I don't think anything changes at level 4, but I might be missing something. At level 5, it gets a tool belt across his waist, and at max level, it now has a much cooler looking gun, several spikes on his head, and a dotted pattern on his helmet. Honestly, just looking at the tower itself, I think it's pretty good, especially at max level. The gun looks fantastic, the spikes in the helmet are really cool, and there's just a lot of nice details. However, I am so disappointed in the fact that it doesn't have custom sentries. If it did have custom sentries, I could have given this like a 8 out of 10, but it doesn't, so I have to give it a 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, but the sentries play such a big role in an engineer skin, and it being default is such a disappointment. Next up, we have the Plushy Golden Minigunner. This is, of course, a plushie version of the Golden Minigunner, with it being designed to look like it's made out of fabric and having a lower frame rate animation. At level 1, it gets a golden mask on its face, along with some golden goggles. At level 2, it gets some night vision goggles on its face. At level 3, it gets some heavy golden armor on its body and a much bigger gun. And at max level, its model completely changes, now using a 2 minigun turret, which looks absolutely insane. Because it's supposed to look like the Golden Minigunner, of course it looks amazing. However, I just personally think it's a slightly worse version. The fabric looks kind of strange, and I don't really like the animation. So if the normal Golden Minigunner is a 10 out of 10, I'm going to give this a 8.5 out of 10. For our next skin, we have the Baseball Mortar. It's designed to look like a baseball player having a white, red, and black outfit. On top of that, it has a really good animation where it manually puts the ball into the launcher before firing. I don't think anything changes at level 1 or level 2, but at level 3, it gets an even bigger launcher and a brand new animation where it bends over the mortar and slams its ball inside. Pause. At level 4, the mortar gets a couple more mechanical details, and at max level, it gets yet another animation where it now throws a can of baseballs into the air, lands it perfectly in the mortar, and then shoots it. So not only does the skin have an amazing design, it has by far the best animations in the game. Having 3 different animations for one skin is insane, and it's clear that they put a lot of effort into making it. So yeah, this is an obvious 10 out of 10. Now, for our last skin, we have the Blazing Brawler. At level 0, it has red skin, white hair, devilish horns, and its fists are glowing red. At level 1, it gets a pair of black gloves. At level 2, it gets more of a red outfit and has some very sharp spikes on its arms. At level 3, it now has red eyes and even bigger spikes and horns. At level 4, the fists are glowing much more intensively, and it has a cool red design on its pants. Then, finally, at max level, it is literally standing on fire. But not only does it have a sick design, it also plays a custom sound effect when attacking. So yeah, I absolutely love this skin. The glowing neon light around his fist looks awesome, and I really like the fact that it's standing on fire at max level. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because the only thing that would make it perfect is if it had a custom animation. But with that, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you agreed with my rankings, and make sure to tell me which one of these skins is your favorite. I don't know why this video took me so long to edit, but it is 5 AM right now. I have not slept at all, so good night, hit the like button, subscribe, I love you, mwah.